Hi guys, Boone from Boone-Southern with another video. This was supposed to be a fishing matriarch video. I took my 93-year-old mother down to the riverbank where she grew up fishing, and they did it more or less to provide then. Now it is a thing of enjoyment. So we went, even though we knew it was the dog days of summer. Had an uncle one time told me, son, if you go fishing in the dog days of summer, you're wasting your time. Well, I can say this was almost a waste of time, but we got to spend time, quality time together with my mother on the riverbank. You're going to see, I know that a fishing video, a lot of people like to see catching. There is going to be some, but not very much. But I will tell you this, there's an instructional part of this video that might be interesting to you. We show you how to set lines on the river, cutting poles, and then to break the monotony at the very end of this fishing trip, we did a little scouting mission, and it was very, very productive. So stay tuned and watch that. I think it will be interesting to you.
He's getting the bait on. Too deep for me. It's too deep for me. I think that's too deep. He's still. No. I ain't never seen him bite like this. Oh, he always nibbles and that's it.
Okay, so we're down at the river. We're going to set out some limb lines today, but there's not that many limbs over the water. And of course, then again, you've got to try to figure out how to get to the limb lines to put the hook out there and then to catch the fish and then to come back and reclaim your limb lines. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go cut us some poles. Come on, I'll show you. All right, so what you don't want something too big you can't handle it. You want something at least 6 foot, 6 to 8 foot more than you're going to be able to handle. We want to cut this thing off at a sharp angle. And when we cut it at a sharp angle, that's going to go into the bank. We're going to push it into the bank, and we're going to hook the limb line on the edge. Now, what I always do when you get the limb line, of course, you don't want all these limbs on there, or the pole. You don't want all these limbs on there, so we're going to trim these limbs off. But when you get to the very end, here's what I always do. How do you know a fish is on there? He's going to be shaking the pole. leave you some kind of marker at the top. And what I always like to do is I like to leave something green. So we're going to leave some of these green leaves. We can see it from a pretty good ways off during the daylight, and it's literally going to be shaking. So that's what we're going to do. See my marker? Green leaves. That's what we're going to look for. Okay, so I've cut this at a slight angle. So what we want to do is we want to narrow this down as sharp as we can get it without splitting it, so we can drive it into the bank. So we're going to cut it down. There you go. You got a sharpened stick that's going to go in the bank. The bank's going to be soft, but you want to have a little taper on it. I got my limb line attached to the pole. Got a weight on it, and got some good old chicken gizzards. And the thing about the chicken gizzards, everybody says liver. Some people use crawfish. Some people use cut bait. I use gizzards, and here's the secret about your gizzards. Put them in the refrigerator overnight with garlic salt. And the longer they sit, the better they'll be. Come on, we'll put this out. All right, you want to find you a place that's got pretty deep water. You want to angle your pole not completely down, but kind of level with the bank, so that the fish, he's going to shake it, but he can't pull it out. Okay, pole's in the bank, stable, level, gizzards on, in it goes.
Shoot, ain't doing nothing but nibbling on it. Is it still got the bait on there? A little bit, ain't much. I ain't gonna give him no more.
Guys, as I was walking through, taking my mother fishing, I'm looking on the riverbank to see if we can find some more holes that we can fish. I can cut out and we can fish. I found something. I'm gonna turn this thing around. I want you to look and see what I found. It's always a good thing to when you're out in the woods. Yeah, this is not a scouting mission. This was a fishing mission. Um, but just look what we found. So you can see there's nothing special here. I'm just walking, and then all of a sudden I come up on this. Can you tell what that is? It's a bone. And you look and you go, okay, that's something pretty good size, substantial. So I just threw it down, no big deal. Then I walked a little further. Huh, guess what? There's the rest of it. Thinking, wow, that's pretty neat. Maybe a deer. And so I kept walking. And as I walked, I scanned back to the right. Can you see it? So I walked up on this in the woods, and I'm saying, wow, this deer did make it last year. Okay, I've got him set up so you can see. He's not that wide, but I mean, he went about it a strange way, but he is an 8-point. But when you get out into situations like this, look around. Just when you're out walking, look around. You'll walk up on stuff like this, and this is not the first deadhead we found. This was a fishing trip. It wasn't a scouting trip. It was a fishing trip. But always look around. You're gonna find something almost every time you look around. There's an indention, and it goes all the way down through here all the way down this hill, that is a deer trail. And they're not going to walk up and down these hills if they haven't got to. They want to take the easy route just like we do. They're not going to go up and down unless they have to, unless they're frightened or a rut is happening. They'll go up and down at that point. But they're going to use the ridges because they want the easier trails also. So mark these things, and I use Onyx. With my Onyx, I'll mark these trails, and I will come back and start scouting more intently. So get out, look for these things. Always have an investigative mind when you're out looking. We found the deadhead, and I found the deadhead because I saw some bones, and I pay attention to that. Let me see what these bones are, what I may think they come off of. I looked around, found the deadhead. Then, as we're walking up the ridge or walking up the hill away from the river, I found the trail on the ridge. So always pay attention to these things, and if you pay attention to these things, it will lead to success.